Are you feeling blue? I'm gonna take it now. Boom, 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 windows, lock your door. You're gonna see what I've got in store. You're gonna get what got.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I will just say, oh my god, there's a helicopter outside. Wow, I sure wonder why, for some reason, helicopters are flying over my home. Anyways, apart from that, welcome, every single one of you here. I know there's probably no one in chat right now. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm actually not really looking at anyone right now. Anyways, everyone on YouTube, I'm DJ Gorilla Jones. I've returned from a pretty cool vacation. I'll just say it was a very relaxing and fulfilling way for me to forget about the podcast because I didn't want to invest too much time in it so that I don't get burnt out. It is officially summer right now. Yes, before it was spring and now it's summer. It's a good 80, 90 degrees actually here in New York. And inverse as to what happened last time when it was about 70 degrees, 75. But yeah, I think we're going to be encountering a heat wave within the next week or two. All right, let's get down right into business. So, of course, I think it's important we talk a bit about heavy as a class. Yes, heavy, it is true. I really see it as true, being the fact that heavy does not really have much of a diverse playstyle. At least some, the kind of playstyle that Scout and Demo Knight has, or even Pyro. Heavy is more like a spray and pray or a run and gun type of guy. Well, actually, I think run and gun would fit more for Scout, but Heavy, he doesn't deviate too much from that kind of norm. Of course, there are those that dedicate their time to playing Heavy and don't play Heavy the way he's meant to be played. And by that, I mean they don't play Heavy as this regular, position yourself in this area, hold down this area, defend here. We're going to be talking a bit about fat scouting. And we have someone with us here today. Someone who has devoted a lot of time to their gameplay as Heavy. In doing just fat scouting. And honestly, that really gets a lot of my respect. Please welcome Maxic GX. Welcome onto the podcast, Maxic GX. Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you just fine.
All right. Hope everything's going well for you. Right. So, give just a brief introduction about yourself to the podcast.
Well, as like you mentioned a second ago, I'm a Fat Scout main, and I just rocking the Panic Attack, just going as fat like Grandpa Max, like people would call me, and just being the old man I am now today, despite my age in real life. But life's been going good with my wife and I, and just making the life the most of it.
Oh, you're married. That's very sweet to hear.
Yeah. She's the love of my life.
Oh, I wish you too an amazing life from here on out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. All right. So, how many hours do you have on Heavy, and how long have you been playing the class?
Well, I have over 2,300 hours on Heavy alone, as Steam would say, but most of which being the Fat Scout subclass, as you would think. And like I said, Steam says I've been playing since 2012, but really I've been playing since day one of Team Fortress 2's release in 2007.
Oh,
back on the orange box for the Xbox 360. So I've seen the many changes throughout the game's life cycle since the beginning, the ups and downs with each update, but I'm actually surprised it lasted this long, to be honest. What's happened, and the inactive community, the inactive developments with Valve and all that.
Okay, all right. So what is your? I know you did say you always rock the Panic Attack, but
yeah.
So what is your ideal heavy weapons loadout besides the Panic Attack? Like what melee?
Yeah, of course.
Use?
For the longest time, I've used the Apoco Fists, but recently I've been using the KGBs, or the Killing Gloves of Boxing, and it just feels so satisfying getting those crit meat shots with the Panic Attack. It feels perfect. It's just so good, satisfying feeling.
All right.
Yeah, just getting that instant kill when you're close enough. But I use the stock minigun when I feel like it, because it's just That's if I need to use it for emergencies like sentries and stuff.
All right, all right.
Think of it as like a sentry buster.
Okay, so essentially just like get rid of, get
Yeah,
rid
to
of
get a, yeah. In case
sentries.
of, I had a minigun at one point renamed in case of emergency. At one point, yeah,
That's a cool name.
yeah,
Um,
fitting.
so what is your highest kill streak and average amount of kills per game with or without medic that you can recall?
Not entirely 100% sure, but the last I can remember was possibly at least 30 to 35 as Fat Scout, roughly around there. But I'm sure I've had a much bigger kill streak running the stock minigun, of course, because the mow down aspect of getting all those kills one by one. Because with Panic Attack, you only go do so much kills at so little time with a so little clip, But I will admit, and I'll speak for everyone who may agree with me or relate, medic equals bigger kill streaks, but that's what I like to believe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's usually when you have someone, that's crawling on your back. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're being a team player in a team-based game, yeah, you'll do more.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, recently, given I just came back from vacation, I haven't been doing so well. So I usually for medic, I've been getting just the higher streaks, and I'll confess, I've convinced too much of my team to just run medic just to bark in the end.
Yeah,
I'll have to get back into the groove sooner or later with that.
Yeah, says every soldier main ever. We need a medic. We need a medic.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it goes for every class. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so those were starter questions. Let's get into what I like to call the nitty-gritty of the interview. So, take me through an extended story of your journey as a heavy main, why you chose to play heavy, major accomplishments as heavy, and and any obstacles, setbacks in your journey, and how you got to where you are today.
Oh man, it's asking the big questions here. Oh boy. I used to main Pyro for a short bit, and then Demo for a little bit, and then Heavy I thought I'd give it a try, and then something happened and immediately just stuck with me through the rest of my TF2 career. I'm not one to be too fast and have to quickly get things done and multitask all the time, but I like taking my time. So Heavy felt like a chill class to follow and get grip from. As with Scout, for example, you're always moving and struggling to survive a bullet hell in every match. With Heavy, I can, or feel as though personally, take my time to what I like to call shoot more, think less. But with maining Fast Scout, it's kind of different, but not by much. With Fast Scout, I personally feel adjusted to the speed and quote-unquote weight of the character when I run and gun. With the that out of the way, with the accomplishments I achieved, I've ended up being invited to as a moderator role for the Heavy Warriors way early on in its lifespan. And being invited, and the general would mark me as, like General Durokas, as you would know, would mark me as the first Fat Scout moderator. But I've moved on with life and just doing stuff and left the moderator role eventually. But others I can think of, other accomplishments, I've been mentioned or had a cameo in some YouTubers' videos, such as Pyro Joe's Outfit Battle series and one of Tufty's TV's videos Once Upon a Time, just to name a few. And when it comes to the obstacles and setbacks in my journey, the biggest one I had to deal with was, I had to say, with the big Panic Attack change in Jungle Inferno. In Meet Your Match, the Panic Attack was, in my opinion, at its peak, I have to say. It was like the perfect stats for a shotgun, for uniqueness as a weapon, I mean, not like standard. But when it was, back when it was treated like a beggar's bazooka, but in a shotgun, you had to hold the button to load your shots, right? And then release it to shoot.
Yeah,
but at the time, at that time, when it was at its peak, at that moment, I got into Hail Zone when you had to hold to shoot. And then when Jungle Inferno came around, the Panic Attack was, as some people would say, nerfed. I like to call it a change. And this heavily impacted my style of gameplay and the grip I adjusted to already. Like, back when I was a beggar's bazooka, I had it narrowed down, because when you get to a weapon to Hail Zone, it changes you. You get used to it. You've mastered it, pretty much. And this heavily impacted my gameplay. It just felt odd, and it just felt unfair for Valve to change something completely different than it was originally. It just didn't feel right. Eventually, I got used to the weapon and just, I got adjusted to it just fine in its current state as of this interview. And now where I am today, I've taken a few breaks off TF2 just to spend time with my wife that I married this year. And me and her really bonded a lot in TF2 and had lots of great memories in that game alone. Meeting good friends along the way, having some laughs here and there. It's just a big journey we've had together.
Well, I do want to say it really has been quite a journey. You have told a lot of people about, especially in Heavy Warriors, and we really congratulate you
Thank you.
on
I
that wedding,
appreciate it.
even though it was just a bit of time ago.
Yeah,
You mentioned you were a moderator for the Heavy Warriors. That's
I
quite
was.
that is quite a
That
role
was-
to have, actually.
Yeah, that is a long time ago. Back when I was in my first apartment. Now I'm in my second apartment, but that was like probably I'd say over 5 years ago. I was the moderator for Heavy Warriors actually before I met my wife. Actually, I met my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and and she told her about the stories of what I've been through, and so she drew a lot. She actually hand drew a lot of moments of us being Heavy and her being her pyro she plays, and just
Okay.
I don't know if the stream sees what I'm using as my avatar, but my avatar is what she drew of us together.
Well,
Oh,
actually, they don't. I put your
Oh,
Steam
okay.
avatar, the Lego
Oh,
avatar on the stream.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Although maybe I can maybe squeeze it into my OBS here.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Okay. So what can be changed about Heavy as a class?
One thing I will mention about changes for the Heavy, they should buff the switch speed of unrevving the miniguns off to either shotgun or sandwich or melee, really, because when you're revving a minigun and then you're done shooting, you unrev it. There's a huge delay before you can switch off to your other weapons, right? So, because of the delay, it just takes too long to save your fellow medic burning to death. So, I've noticed in Team Fortress 2 Classic, it was a fan-made mod that was released to the public that changed that idea alone. They made it so the switch speed comes a lot sooner after you unrev your minigun. So that way you can switch to your shotgun or your sandwich. It's just, it felt so much better, but since that mod is dead, nobody plays it anymore. It's just, that idea is lost now. Unless Valve takes inspiration for it and maybe buff that change for Heavy.
Well, we'll just have to, at the end of the day, wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah, with the situation with Valve and TF2, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, you shouldn't,
Dream
always be so
on.
pessimistic.
Dream on. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Heavy mains that have inspired you, if there are any, and heavy main YouTubers or videos that you see are the best source for help as Heavy.
Big Joey. Hands down, Big Joey is a huge help when it comes to getting the right console commands such as interp ratios and such. Referring to how to track better as Heavy video, where he explains how interp works and which console commands to use to get ahead of the game. It helps tremendously for those new players searching, explaining about interp ratios and how with the default settings, obviously they're a joke. You gotta do a lot of advanced settings to get a better experience ahead of the game. With Big Joey, he explains in depth why you should and how you should do it. Use those commands, and it's just I've been getting a lot more kills with that kind of help. It's just I'd say go check it out. Check out his How to Track Better as Heavy video. It's a big help. And when it comes to heavy humor, with other YouTubers such as Heavy Humor, Bearded Expense just gives me a genuine laugh all the time when I used to watch his videos. It just his anger, his mockery, I like his humor. It's very, how do I say it? Very aggravated, but not intentionally. It's just for the sake of a video. But it's just his humor would really uplift me that I needed when I needed it the most. There's a lot of good content creators for Team Fortress 2 alone, I have to say, and I'm looking forward to see who will be the next big YouTuber the next generation is to come.
Well, I would say, yeah, there are a lot of TF2 content creators. Just there's not enough of specifically
There's
heavy main content creators.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, it's not a lot of heavy mains because the running gag with heavy mains don't exist. Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
keep looking. You'll find Waldo.
well, I mean, I did interview someone recently named Kip Create. You
Oh
might know.
yeah, I was watching a few of those.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, I still, I still enjoyed that interview, but of course,
Yeah,
things come and go.
yeah.
So what are some tidbits of advice you would give to those that are either struggling or new to heavy, and what are some maps and strategies that you would recommend?
If you're the kind of guy who's playing a shooter game expecting for advanced movements and mobility, heavy doesn't really have that. He doesn't have mobility other than like the gloves of running urgently or the GRU. But heavy's not supposed to be a mobility class. He's just not. He's really the only tank class in the game that the game has to offer. Heavy, all in all, is a very chill class, I have to say, to play when you don't want to have to worry about dying all the time and moving too quickly or having to worry too much of the situation of the match because you're just taking your sweet time, just mowing down hordes of enemies. And with maps for beginners, payload and attack defend maps, easy choices right there. Um, since heavy is a defense class, he's very easy to understand the concept of having to defend or push with a group to attack. You're a tank, and you have to take the hits for them. You have to make the push in most cases, and you'll do a much better job, obviously, with a medic on your side. And as for Fat Scout, a good map to practice Fat Scout is High Tower. I'd say is the best map to roam around and kill with a wide open area with all the many health packs and ammo packs to collect when needed the most. 2-4, it's not as good since it's mainly just, I like to call hallways the map. Yeah. And since there's very minimal ammo and health packs scattered around to survive, it's just not a fun experience. It's just, like I said, hallways the map. And but King of the Hill is a good game mode too to play Fast Scout as well. And because again, ammo packs, health packs scatter around, and it's wide open, and you only focus on one objective, or let the team capture the points while you just sneak attack, or just flank with Fat Scout. But it depends on the map, depends on the game mode. For Fat Scout, High Tower, Payload Race, and King of the Hill. But for attack, defense, and payload, just regular heavy, just with the primaries.
Okay.
And the sandwich. Yep.
All right. Okay. Good advice there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're almost just about done. These are just two closer questions I asked to my interviewees. I want to say, of course, one more time, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So best song genre to listen to while you're pub stomping, or best song genre that encompasses your gameplay, or something like that.
Excuse me. I'd say most video game soundtracks. Anything that gets you like energetic, not hyper, but like more motivated, I'd say. There's something that gets you feel like, oh yeah, this is the final boss of this video game. Like, you feel like this. I'd say pretty much most of Halo 3's soundtrack is very good for motivation and getting the kills. Halo 3, the song One Final Effort is my go-to when I'm trying to get an objective done. It's perfect, I'd say. But for anybody who doesn't like video game soundtracks, I'd say rock, a lot of rock. Like I said with video games, anything that gets you motivated or upbeat to get going and feel like you're at the final boss. And but examples for rock bands, Creed, Stone Temple Pilots, and my wife's favorite band, Linkin Park, are great examples of getting achieved and feel motivated to get that kill streak you need.
Okay, so
yeah.
More modern rock bands. Okay.
Modern.
I mean, I'm more into
classic.
like 80s, 70s, 80s, a bit of 90s.
Yeah, like Guns N' Roses and yeah, for sure. And Motley Crue.
Oh yeah, no, those are my favorites. Listen to that a lot.
Mm-hmm. If you want to kickstart my heart by Motley Crue.
Kickstart my heart. Probably one of the best.
It's in the title. Need I say more?
All right, and the final question, the $1 million question that's been plaguing the entire heavy community for years and years, Tomislav or the stock minigun?
Do I win $1 million if I get the right answer?
That depends if there even is a right answer.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take a chance. Stock. I personally like to spread up close, like, mowing down, doing the most damage up close. With Tomislav, for me, it's too narrow. Yeah, I get it's supposed to be a long range sniper, quote unquote, but it feels the spread for the Tomislav is just too narrow. But with the stock, I just go up close and personal and just mow down that sentry, no problem.
Okay.
But that's me personally. But I'm sure there's the other side, the Tomislav side, and I'm sure that side will disagree with me on that.
Yeah, it'll say long range is better because you can take out snipers. That's not always the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, but heavy usually is not really the guy to do long range. Yeah. Not usually. Not in all cases. At the end of the day, you're just pushing the whole team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we're just about done here.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on to the Heavy Hour Podcast. I'm DJ Gorilla Jones. This was Maxic GX.
This was.
Yeah, Maxic GX, you have the final say.
I have the final say?
Yeah.
In case I don't see you folks later, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Stay safe.
Yep, you too. Yeah, that was cool. All right.